So, getting back to this. Today I'm going to try and figure out what happened. Got a cylinder down right now, so I don't know if it's, what exactly going on. I'm going to pull these plugs out, take a look at it. Probably go ahead and do a compression test on this engine while I've got it there, that way. So I took the truck for a ride. Just, a few miles down the road, about 3 miles. It's got 3 miles on the odometer now. And came back, ran okay. Brakes, still a major problem. So I went ahead and ordered all my new brakes. So I'll be putting new brakes on this thing on the front end at least. Surprisingly easy it was to find everything. Rock Auto has been pretty awesome on this. But the next day I come out here and fire this thing up and it starts really rough, missing like hell on one cylinder. So I'm gonna pull the plugs, see what they look like, and figure out what's going on. I know I definitely need valve seals. I might go ahead and use this time to go ahead and do that as well. So let me get this object here. I'm gonna go ahead and pull the plugs first. We'll mark them so I know where they came from. I'll let you guys take a look at it and run a compression test on this engine today. Well, number 4, it looks like we have a winner. So, compression test didn't come out great. 3, 4, and 5, about 110, 120. Cylinder 1 is about 90, so it's down a little. Cylinder 2, I'm getting nothing. I don't know if we got a valve dropped or what, but well, should have pulled the valve cover first. Check this out. I'm needing to pull that off anyway, so might as well go ahead and pull the valve train out. We'll go ahead and do the valve seals now, set the valve lash, get everything cleaned up, put it all back together. This is good news. I don't think push rods are supposed to look like that. I'm going ahead and doing these valve stem seals. It's going to do a damn bit of good. What I'm doing right now, putting this intake valve back in it. Get the keepers back in this one if I can, hopefully. Yeah. So that's not some kind of magic. Just a rope in here. I know about how much. I'm not worrying too much about the top dead center. I'm just getting it on a compression until it stops compression. That way I know about where it's at. Run it back down and I'll fill this thing up with this rope and then rotate it around. And that'll hold those valves in place. Take everything loose. And wish I had a borescope. I'd love to see inside of this thing. Cheap as they are to buy anymore. Maybe I should just go buy one, but with all the other crap I'm buying. So not enough rope in there to stop the engine when I roll it around, but enough that it's holding it so I can actually push the valve down a little bit, make sure everything's good and flowing. So just my way of doing it. Might be wrong, but it's my way. Spring compressor, little cheap thing found on Amazon. Put it as far down as I can get it. So this would be much easier, of course, if that head's off and I had a better set, unless I'd be able to pull these out and break this thing loose. There we go. And there it is. So I don't know if I'm doing any good. Definitely hardened up some, and yeah, I could see that. So as I'm taking this out, it might be the wrong thing, but I'm going ahead and soaking everything, getting as clean as I can. Every part that I've taken, I'm taking off of it. Trying to vacuum everything up I can. Found one valve that was stuck. I got it freed up, running good now. I do not believe that this valve was opening before. Either I'm going to fire this thing up and it's going to run 20 times better, or shit's going to hit the fan. One way or the other, something's going to happen here, because this thing was running great. Took it down the road, ran out pretty decent. I mean, it's an old 6-cylinder. Parked it, it was running fine. Started the next time, and man, it was missing like crazy. there's no way that this valve was moving, because I mean it was tight, and it was from sludge motor oil and crap, you know. As always, man, if you're not doing this thing every day, always look at the service manual first. No matter what, you verify it. You don't have to remember every spec on an engine. You don't have to remember you just have to remember where to find it. Torquing on the rocker arm assembly right now. Got all my push rods in. I'm gonna try and get all that taken care of tonight. Getting ready to torque these things down. And when I do that, to verify everything is where it needs to be. It's good there. Tighten there. So on this slant 6, there's a flat. You can see right here. Goes to the front upper side. That's to make sure the lubrication, everything's right in that rocker. Now, what it tells me is 30 foot-pounds of torque to that rocker arm. It does not have called out a torque sequence, so I don't believe it's a huge deal, but I always still like to do at least a center out. For me, I like to take it down in steps. Whenever I torque something down, if it's a 30 foot-pounds, I like to take everything to 10 to 15 foot-pounds, make sure everything's equal, then go the rest of the way to the 30. That makes me feel a little bit better about I'm not pulling something down hard and then driving everything else around. I can pull it all down equal. Sometimes if you're going to a really heavy torque, I'll step it down twice. You know, if I'm going to 100 foot-pounds, I might go to 20 first, then go up to 75, and then go to 100. Just a habit I've gotten into over the years. It's led me fairly well, so that's what we're going to do here today. All right, take it to 15 right there. And there's 30. All right. We're at 30. Whoop. All right, there they are. 30 foot at least. These rockers down in there, so I can look down in here and tell you which lifters are on it. This one. We are going to set these things to a reasonably loose, and then start it up, get it warmed up to temperature, and adjust everything while it's running. I'll pull the plugs that way. I can roll this engine around anywhere I need. Plus it gives me more room to put a light down in there and make sure everything's good to go. There. Just going through and getting these things set just a little bit loose. 13 and 25 right now. Alright, so I did go ahead and put the alternator back on, got everything wired up on this side. Gotta run my fuel line still. So gotta find a good place, and I've got a ground down there I wanna add in. I kind of feel like the grounds are a major point, even on these older ones. I know the new cars or so much electronics, the grounds are an absolute must, but they were really ignored on these older cars. You know, they assumed everything was grounded, no problem, but it's really not the case. So you're adding a few ground straps. Do yourself a favor and do that if you're any old car you got. Anything, any project, you're not going to overground the engine to the frame or to the body. So make sure the body, frame, and engine are all tied together with the grounds. Crank works. All right. Got some fresh gas, pour some in. I'm gonna hopefully get this thing to fire up and run. Definitely fired up, ran, but got a little backfire. Makes me feel like I'm a tooth off. Oh, you got to be. And that's the point that I decided you don't need to hear what I'm saying. That's right. Use the magnet to get the little nut out of the oil galley, and there, it pulls right off the end. If you can read lips, you can imagine what I was saying. No big deal. It was stuck to the side, and I got a hold of it. I was able to then use the magnet to get the nut out. So, crisis averted. Valves are adjusted.